Hello everybody, this is Tolkien for the first ever Shadowverse video on my YouTube channel, which will be the first episode of Meta Monday. Meta Monday will be a video series aimed at bringing you the latest information on the Shadowverse metagame. We'll mainly be focusing on analyzing the tournament results, but we'll be also getting some information from the ladder, and we'll be focusing on some specific card choices. Before we delve deeper into the tournament stats, let's present the different tournament series we'll be getting our data from. The first one will be the JCG Open series. The JCG Opens are online tournaments taking place almost daily in Japan and gathering 256 players every single time. Those tournaments are played in direct elimination, best 2 out of 3. We have a wealth of data on those tournaments, which means those are the ones I will be using mainly to draw conclusions about the Shadowverse metagame at large. The second tournament series I will be using data from are the Shadowverse Opens. Those tournaments take place online in Europe, Pan America and Southeast Asia, and they are played in double elimination in best of 3 with the ban, which means you bring 3 decks, ban 1 and play a best of 3 with the 2 remaining decks. This format means that the winner metagames is much more meaningful than a direct elimination tournament, but at the same time, we don't really have that much data on the Shadowverse Open outside of the win rate per classes in the tournament, which actually is pretty interesting and will be also showing in the videos. This week is also a bit special as there were 2 very big real-life tournaments played in the past few weeks, Dreamhack Tours, which was played in Europe in rotation, and the Rage Open qualifiers here in Japan. The Rage Open qualifiers gathered more than 6,000 players, so of course we'll be talking a little bit about the results and about the winning decks. But without further ado, let's jump into the tournament stats. This graph shows you the difference between the tournament entrants in blue and the top 16. Having a higher red bar than a blue bar means the class is overperforming, and if it's the opposite, it's of course underperforming. As you can see, Rune is broken as hell. It's by far the most popular deck in Unlimited, as well as the winningest deck, with 87.5 top 16 players choosing to play Runecraft. The secret OP deck is Bloodcraft, with only 11.16% of the entrance metagame and 15.63% of the winners metagame. It looks like Bloodcraft is actually pretty decent in Unlimited and should be making a resurgence in the next few weeks. This second slide is showing you the differences in metagame between the different regions. The most interesting point is that European and American players absolutely love Swordcraft, but at the same time they only show a 44% win rate with it, which means you should likely stop playing mid-sword in Unlimited. But I think most of you came here to hear about the rotation metagame. The rotation metagame is way less pronounced than the Unlimited metagame. At the top, you have Forestcraft, Swordcraft, Runecraft, and Portalcraft, which are the 4 clear leaders of rotation. What's interesting is that Portalcraft is heavily outperforming in JCG Opens. With only 41.21% of the field, it still shows a 46.24 winners metagame share, which is only second to Sword, but Sword also is 52.02% of the overall metagame. Anyways, seeing the stats, you understand that the best decks are actually the best decks. They are not only the most played decks, they are also the ones who win the most, because Bloodcraft, Shadowcraft and Havencraft, even though they are sometimes played, they just don't win as much. Whereas Swordcraft, Runecraft and Forestcraft, even though they don't have incredible top 16 conversion, they still look really stable. Then we can move on to meta differences. Even though Japanese players really like playing Forestcraft, it's nowhere as close as the Western players. In particular, Dreamhack Tours sported a 64.71% of Forestcraft decks, which is huge. This is also one of the reasons why Portalcraft didn't perform as well as Dreamhack Tours, even though it usually has the best win rate in the Shadowverse Opens, with a 55% win rate outside of the Dreamhack results. The other classes look a little bit similar, where the Western percentages will always be a bit higher than the Japanese ones, as you have to bring 3 decks and not 2 to the Western tournaments. Let's focus a little bit more on the real-life tournaments. At Dreamhack Tour, we have the chance to be able to see all the win rates in the tournaments. In particular, Swordcraft was the best performing archetype, followed by Havencraft and Forestcraft, Portalcraft being a distant 6 because of the omnipresence of Forestcraft at the tournament. What's really interesting is that the Dreamhack Tour's winner, Mensa, didn't win with Swordcraft, Havencraft, and Forestcraft, which were the best decks for the tournament, so congratulations to him for taking it down with a great metagame call. The other real-life tournament that took place was the Rage Open. There were actually 2 tournaments, the West Open and the East Open. In total, those tournaments gathered more than 8,000 players, and the 8 players qualified for the Rage Finals played Portalcraft, 4 Portalcraft, 3 Dragoncraft, 3 Forestcraft, 3 Runecraft, 2 Swordcraft, and a Havencraft. As you can see, this is actually a very diverse top 8, and I will be posting the deck lists in the video description. Unfortunately, we don't know the metagame repartition for the whole tournament, and therefore I cannot bring you more data about the Rage Opens. So this will mark the end of the first Meta Monday. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a commentary if you have any advice or any question about those videos. I'll be streaming regularly on Twitch from now on, as well as being active on Twitter, so don't hesitate to give me a follow there as well. Tomorrow, I will be posting an in-depth analysis of the last BO3 of the Rage Open, so stay tuned and see you tomorrow.